I've worked here as the chief nurse for 3 years. I've moved my whole family to Norfolk, and I'm guessing that you would like to come and work in an organisation that's a tertiary centre, regional leader across many services, that has a vibrant city, by the coast, and rurally too. Now, I could tell you lots of things about this organisation that were all phenomenal, but actually I want you to hear from our clinical leaders, our ward, unit and department managers and all of their teams about the 365 reasons why you want to come and work with us. It's a great place.
We have a real special team here. All of the therapy teams and the medical team, they all have a real passion and we work really well as an MDT team and all have the same goals, which is for the patient. And it's just exciting. You don't know what's going to be next. We are quite unique that we have our direct admission service, which is just for stroke patients, and you have the opportunity to be dysphasia nurse trained, which you do specific swallow assessments. You need to be competent at your neuro observations and really have an understanding of the GCS and what the actual scores mean. We can have patients that have challenging behaviours, and with that you have patients that need to have enhanced observations. Sometimes it can be very similar to mental health, so we work closely with the mental health team, and we also have some trained mental health care assistants that support us with that.
I was fairly new when I started to bank on here, and everyone was so supportive and kind, and I just learnt so much. They were patient with me, and I've just stuck here forever because the team is just amazing. Originally, I'd done a mental health foundation degree, and then I came to work at the hospital for some experience. So when the position came up on Neuroscience, it was the perfect role for me, and applied and got it. And it just means I get to stay within my team, but do something I'm really passionate in.
Neurology is a very sad and progressive disorder that needs a lot of passion. You need to love your job. I like the challenges. At the end of the day, you feel proud of yourself, you're proud of your team.
I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to know that I had job security, and I'm not a person to be sat down in an office all day, and I like to be busy and on my feet and with lots of people.
You base yourself on the ward, and we have a phone that we get all referrals from paramedics, from A&E, from other wards, and basically once we get a referral, we go to assess the patient. We can see from A&E, we can see up to 10-15 patients a day coming in for a 12-hour shift. And then obviously it carries on through the night, it's a 24-hour service.
I was actually here as a student in my second year placement, and I absolutely loved it. At that point, I didn't know where I wanted to work and what areas or specialise. But when I joined here, I absolutely loved it, so I came here straight as newly qualified from UEA. I'm tracheostomy trained, so if we have tracheostomy patients that come to us that are usually stepped off from ITU, we have to be able to manage them. And we tend to have a tracheostomy trained nurse on each shift that manages just the tracheostomy patients to give them all the care that they need. Without working together as a team, we wouldn't be able to get the patients fit and well or to rehab or discharge from the ward. So we work closely with the physiotherapists, occupational therapists, speech and language therapists, a mental health team. We work closely with them all on this department.
We're all working on the patient's goals. We try and individualise it to them, what they used to like, what involve their family. And then we move them through the process from our acute hospital into the rehab phase.
For an OT, I feel like really valued here. I think everyone is more aware of people's issues, not just physically but cognitively, which has a massive impact after, say, someone having a stroke or any sort of brain injury.
Definitely from a kind of speech and language therapy perspective, you're seeing people who have those significant communication difficulties, but we also deal a lot with dysphagia, so swallowing difficulties as well. We're kind of changing diet and fluid recommendations, so if we're modifying someone's food and drink, we'll always let the nurses and HCAs know that we have changed this. Any kind of strategies that the HCAs may be helping someone over lunchtime, they may have to feed patients. So giving them strategies for that, making sure that everything's kind of safe for the patient.
I started this job because I wanted to come to stroke. Well, stroke obviously merged with neurosciences. My mum had a stroke and I wasn't in this profession prior to that, but when I actually came into hospital and saw how it all worked, I thought I'd rather do this than what I was doing at that point.
The different specialties, the speech and language therapists, the physios, the doctors and the nurses, the HCAs, everyone has like their role that helps the patient, but they also all intertwine. Everyone works together and gets you involved, even like me as a student nurse. They're always talking to me, helping me and being keeping me involved, which is really nice.
When you do your job well, it's very enjoyable. It's more about the fact that it could be any one of us lying in that bed and you just want to make sure that everybody gets the best of what you can do.